Okay, so the body restores and renews itself each and every day, right? We get in the way of that, okay? With our poor lifestyle choices, with stress that undermines every good thing that you could possibly do, okay? Bad sleeping habits, bad negative reoccurring thoughts. Okay, so we get in the way of that ability. And it's important for all of you to know this, because regardless of what you have going on or the help that you seek, right, whether it's from conventional medicine, which is amazing, or if you have alternative healers, which are also amazing, they can help you. And sometimes we do need external help. A lot of times we need external help. But whether or not those healings or that medicine or that chemotherapy is going to help you really resides in your ability to accept and receive it and know that it's going to work for you, or not. Or you resist it in some way, or you get in the way of it, right? And most people don't even realize this, because we aren't taught that we are powerful, and we aren't taught that we have an innate ability to heal ourselves. So those are the two most important things that I just want to start with. Are we all in agreement of that? Mm-hmm. Agreement?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you. Okay. So the 3 steps to help you reclaim your power. And in my opinion, these are superpowers. So human beings are really mounds of untapped potential. And some people understand how powerful they are, and they're out in the world doing amazing things. And so my goal is for all of you to tap into a little bit of that untapped energy inside all of you, and to let loose some of this creative energy that wants to come out so badly. I know every single one of you in this room knows what I'm talking about. We all have these superpowers, and so these 3 that I'm going to talk about tonight are really just scratching the surface, and I tried to keep it really basic and simple. But the first is self-love. So I know if you're a client of mine, past or present, you have heard about this ad nauseum. Okay, so you know, or if you follow me, or if you know me in any way, you know that I am a huge proponent of self-love, because it's everything. It's foundational. It really is. And because if you love yourself unconditionally, and if you accept yourself unconditionally, then I promise you that everything in your life will start to work out. Everything. Everything will become just a little bit easier. The answers will find you. It's foundational. Okay, when you love yourself in a very deep and authentic way, you make time for yourself, right? It's easy to find the things that are going to be helpful and useful for you. The problem is that most of us have very, very complicated relationships with ourselves, right? I mean, I've met very few people that didn't have to work on their relationship with themselves in some deep and powerful way. When we come into this earth, we love ourselves. I love to tell the story of my daughter, Elsie. She's 4 now, and she still loves herself. She loves herself. She loves every part of herself, you know, and she's so comfortable in her body, you know, and she doesn't think her nose is too big or her butt's too, no, like, she loves herself. She owns it everywhere she goes. She is powerful, right? Because she hasn't had the same experience as most of us that have taught us, you know what, you're not okay. And you know what, you should really look like this, or you should be doing this, or actually, you're doing that all wrong, and you're incapable, and you're not really that good at that. We've all had that experience. And so as we grow older throughout our lives, we get these messages that we're not okay. And then we have these complicated, very dysfunctional relationships with ourselves. And so my first recommendation to all of you in terms of reclaiming your personal power is to reconcile and commit to working on the relationship with yourself. If you don't love you, if you can't look yourself in the mirror, and this is actually not that easy, but if you, so I'm not going to stand up here and tell you to do this and tell you that it's the easiest thing in the world to do, but if you can't look yourself in the mirror and tell yourself that you love yourself without quivering, even just try that when you go home and see how that feels. You know, and if you have a hard time doing that, then there's something inside of you that probably needs to be healed and addressed. You know, and when we don't love ourselves, we don't advocate for ourselves, we stay in jobs that make us miserable, we don't make time to exercise, we don't eat well, you know, we don't take the time to listen to what our body actually needs. Okay, so make sure that you're taking time to understand, what is the relationship with myself like? And if I don't feel really good about myself, where does it come from? You know, what are these, whose voices are these in my mind that I hear each and every day? That inner critic that tells me I should have done it this way, or you're an idiot, whose voice is that? Is that my voice, or is that somebody else's? So, any questions on that? On self-love? Okay, great. So the next step is understanding your body's subtle energies. So I come from a very science background. I studied physics in high school. I loved physics. I took AP physics in high school. I know, it's crazy, crazy, but I did. So I was really into it, and I didn't understand why at the time. You know, and I did personal training for a while, and I was like, oh, this is why, because it's levers and, you know, the kinesiology of the body. No, it's because of energy medicine. I have found my passion. I have found the place where physics now resides in my professional life, in my personal life. Understanding the body's energy system is really powerful, and I feel like it's so often ignored. This is nothing new.